There we are. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Facebook land, YouTube land, and so forth. James Gardner, the hero within, and of course, my brother from another mother, Ben Smith. Ben, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Awesome, mate. Awesome. So here we are, gang, the Goliath Foundation. Ben and I have been busy working, which we want to talk a little bit about today. We've been kind of haven't been as vocal visibility wise here, but we wanted to share some things. And first off, Ben and I are living in Canada. We are both Americans living in Canada, so we want to acknowledge and give a shout out to Veterans Day, Remembrance Day here in Canada, Veterans Day in the States, and all the veterans that have given service to this country. So mad love to all of you. And Ben is joining us from the dark and rainy Caribbean coast of Mexico.
Yeah. And again, I apologize for it being a little bit dark in here. It's a weird time. It's a weird kind of rainy day here. So sorry about that.
Rainy day in paradise.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome. Even the rainy days are great here,
Of
but the
course.
lighting is a bit weird. So
That's all right. It's all right. You look like $1,000,000, Ben, as always. What can I tell you?
you could tell me I look
Sure.
like $1 billion.
Oh, man. Such a drama queen you
Let
are.
down.
All right.
Let down.
So Ben, so everyone, we've been 6 weeks now. Ben and I have been working with this group and how healing happens through the Goliath Foundation with a bunch of young BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color, and young men, and really working with them in a support dynamic, coming together as a group of uh, of human beings, men aside, group of human beings. And we thought we'd just share a few things about our time so far. And Ben, it's been great. I know you and I we work together. We get a chance to not only impact these amazing young men, but also just see how in dire need this type of support is for men out there.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I think it's one of the most important things that we could be doing right now because let's face it, I mean, these young guys are the future and I mean, we always say that happy men make better husbands, employers, all these different things is so important. And the more we do this work or the more that I like well we have worked with young men and men in general, the more you see the need, especially when you start to get you know a little bit closer and they open up a little bit, you see the need, the struggle that people have, these
Mm.
young men have with that just general state of happiness that everybody in the world benefits from. So I feel like we're doing very, very important and work and impactful work.
Yeah, and the thing that I see, because I mean, I do this for a living, personal development. I work with people. The majority of the people out there that seek this type of personal growth tend to be adults in their prime that have tried to navigate the chessboard of life and have realized, you know what, I gotta change some things. I need to rewire some thinking patterns and all this, and yet it's really opened my eyes as a facilitator that these young kids are dying for this too, and they're
Mhm.
like sponges. To see them take a conversation with you and take some of the tools that you've created, that you've used in your journey, to see them take it, run with it, come back, and to see them blossom in only 6 weeks has been quite rewarding, I have to say.
Yeah, the thing is, it's. I mean, you and I know this. There's no magic bullet to anything, but just the willingness to take these concepts and these ideas and the fact that there is a simple strategy to maintain a stable uh, a stable state of happiness, but you have to put it into practice, and it's got to become ritualistic, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's got to be consistent, and you have to commit to it. And if you do that, inch by inch, little by little, you start to gain full control of your life again, right?
Yeah.
And it's possible and very predictable for everybody who does the work. Over time, eventually, you're going to be like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Well, yeah, and I think that's the important thing is we've kept it simple, because you and I, from our athletic backgrounds, we talk about this all the time. The ABCs of fundamentals of sport, of boxing for you, of bodybuilding, and for me, rowing. Those never change. No matter what level you are as a competitor, you go back to your ABCs. And so, keeping that in mind with these young kids, they're really able to grasp and take it and turn around and use it and utilize it. And that's the thing, because you said it, Ben. It doesn't matter. There is no magic pill. We could, you have a million ways in Sunday to make this book look like, the best thing since sliced bread. But if it's convoluted and all fancy mumbo jumbo and they can't put it into practice and they don't do the work, then it doesn't freaking matter,
It's true.
right?
Exactly.
We talked about that the other day with one of our kids, which is like, I think it was Chris. Chris says, he just chimed in. I think he even cut me off or cut you off. He's like, you got to do the work. You just got to do the work. Right. And it's
It's
like,
true.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think a lot of people are they're they're barriers, right? There's barriers to everything. There's barriers to good eating. There's barriers to exercising.
Yeah.
There's barriers to getting over your addictions, and there's barriers to following these simple problems that are simple solutions to everyday problems that we have. And that barrier is that idea that it can't be this simple, but it is this simple. It just takes time, like everything else, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be all wrapped up in a big fancy bow. It could just be something simple that can really change your life if you do the work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Simple. And one of the simple things in this group too that I've seen, and it even happened from day one, is it's just nice to see young men, strangers, different ethnic backgrounds, different paths in life come together. And even within that first session, it just you could see and feel the support and this kind of
Yeah.
dynamic. And Ben, you and I have been privileged to share some pretty deep emotional conversations with some of these young men that they've shared
Hmm.
openly with the group, and to see the response that they get from their colleagues in the group has been
Yeah.
probably for me one of the coolest things that I've seen.
Yeah, I love that. I love how people start to realize that this is a safe space where they could
Mm.
share and we've had a couple pretty big shares, by people that and it's just and you can just see them opening up like blossoming like a flower, like where it's like, oh, I can really express myself and really feel safe here to just like this is what I'm dealing with. And that's what it's
Yeah.
all about, right?
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding to watch the like just and the energy, like I'm really cognizant of people's energy, and I can just see that positive energy, in the eyes and in the words and then
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. And everyone has their own pathway to growth, and understanding their own rhythm. So as a facilitator, right, we see some young men are more vocal than others, and some are more like the silent processor. They just kind of sit back, but they're all doing the work, and I think that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just and that commitment to, well, I can make a change, right? It's like
Mhm.
anything, right?
Yeah, and they're not willing to. I mean, not willing. No, sorry, they're not. They're not frightened or scared to put it out there,
Hmm.
to even have a discussion, to bring it up to us as adult men, and as facilitators to their peers, um, and to acknowledge that, which is amazing. They acknowledge some of their own challenges. Well,
Hmm.
this is my insecurity with
Yeah.
with girls, for example, or I'm juggling my family life and my work life, and I can't. It's so hard, and I feel like I don't
Hmm.
have time for my kids, and they're sharing stuff, which is pretty powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that people feel like they can, and it is a safe space, and yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, right? Because so many men, they don't really feel like they can do that. So if they feel like they can do that with us or with this group, then God, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, that's it. And Ben, maybe what we'll do right now, I because I do want to segue this into our last few minutes together here, is just to say, look, right, Goliath Foundation. This is a foundation built for men, young men, old men, doesn't matter, men, right?
Hmm.
Because men need this support, and in my opinion, men need that relatability to not only the magic pill, the content that's there, whatever it is, but they need relatability to the shit that you and I are talking, like the roads that you and I have traveled to
Hmm.
get where we are, the good, the bad, the ugly,
Hmm.
and everything in between. Um, this Goliath Foundation is for men. Like any man out there wants to up level their game on the home front, as a husband, as a father, as a coworker, as a human freaking being, whatever it is, Goliath Foundation can impact their life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the reality is, we are them, right? Between we are them. So we're kind of we're all those guys that are like, God, where do I turn, right? Well, we are them, right?
That's right.
Because you and I have had to find answers to these same problems that they're going through. So
Yeah.
hopefully that is, well, I mean, we know that it's gonna be relatable for them, right? A
It
place for
is.
men, right?
And we can, and ladies and gentlemen, we can all be like Ben and in his jammies sitting in Mexico living the high
Yeah.
life.
Well, it's true.
But you work,
Yeah.
but you know what? You did, but again, you did the work. You did the work to put you exactly where you are right now.
Well,
Your
that's the
situation.
thing. The only difference between me spending six weeks in Mexico and anybody else is that I've done the work to find all those little pathways, not so much financially, but where I'm okay with with whatever has to be done to live the life I want to live and to
Hmm.
feel how I want to feel in this life.
Love
and
it.
and that's really what it's about, right? It's not about the money, it's not about the big fancy trips and the big fancy cars and stuff like that. It's feeling like you have what you need within you to experience life, and feel like a worthy, good, whole human being in this world, right?
Nice. Yeah. And that's a beautiful place to be. That whole human being concept that you just said. It's very
It's
peaceful, right?
it's so much more than money. It's so much more than so many things that people are chasing. To feel like a whole, grounded, consistently at peace with yourself human being is priceless, really.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's really the goal, in my opinion.
There it is. Beautiful. All right, Mr. Ben, parting words here. one shout out to any men out there that may be listening, what would Ben Smith like to leave them with?
Don't leave your happiness to chance. Take control and just make make it a non-negotiable that I'm going to do what it takes to live my life on my terms and be happy.
Love it. Love it. Happiness is an inside job for sure. And it starts inward, and everything else outward can be a beautiful dance of peace and acceptance and just joy, inner child work. And I'll speak for Mr. Ben. Him and I are probably the two biggest inner child people you'll ever meet, as far as men are concerned, right?
Dude, I'm in my jammies.
Right, exactly, exactly. So, all right, Ben. Awesome, thank you. So we're gonna be sharing some insights from our cohort that happens every week. We'll be doing it probably on Thursdays with our community at large. So Ben and I will be seeing all of you as we progress here into the holiday months. And mad love to you, Mr. Smith, and mad love to the courageous.
Yeah, man. Mad
All
love.
right. Talk soon.